What you are about to witness will contain violence, disturbing imagery, adult themes, and may leave you doubting who you thought you were. Proceed at your own risk.
Haggs Hollow should have been named Hedge Hollow, for the figure it was named after was no hag at all, but a very peculiar hedge witch. Grinsel Thornheart wasn't born a witch, nor in Din. But by the time she built her home in the valley east of Lurching, she understood enough to know her place of hermitage was strange. Flora, fungi, all seemed to grow better here, doubly so for anything with magical or medicinal properties. At first, Grinsel explained this away with just lucky weather and good soil. But by season 12, she knew that even she, in all her worldly wisdom, could not explain it. By season 5, her modest garden had become a thicket. By season 12, it had become a forest. And until then, the oddest Din had ever seen. Peculiar weeds grew upside down, roots exposed to the sky instead of the dirt. Flowers bloomed in bold and bright patches, and large, looming and singing mandrake trees became an alluring attraction for many travellers Din-wide. And Haggs Hollow had grown beyond one witch's hermitage into a lively town. It's hard to pinpoint when the Mandrake Grove began walking. Like the rest of Haggs Hollow's curious vegetation, their roots had always been exposed. Locals bickered over land disputes with their neighbours, claiming trickery or blaming the Grovelan, a religious faith dedicated to the grove itself. But eventually the grove had moved entirely outside the town limits, taking their song with them, like a rolling thunderstorm taking generations to pass. The walking wood could be heard for miles, until one day it could be heard no more. Haggs Hollow, their prosperity all but strangled by the loss of their magical Mandrake Grove, slowly became a ghost town, its residents trickling out year after year. Now home to a small set of oddballs, alchemists, and a select few scholars and scientists studying, or worshipping, the new encroaching dark forest spreading in from the south. Haggs Hollow is but a shell of what it once was, its heart and soul deserted. A town now hauntingly taunted by its name.
We last left off just outside the outskirts of Haggs Hollow. And now we join our adventurers upon entering the abandoned town, mostly abandoned. There's a light mist on the ground. Everything's a little damp, even though it shouldn't be. Although when you look down, it's still desert. And I think you can assume that this is coming from the old wood, where it still feels like it, like a mist or a dampness, but it's not going to permeate into the dirt. Who is leading the party at the moment?
At this point, I think we've been left to our own devices, have we not?
Yes.
By our friend Kennison Boxworth, Welted Mylear. So I don't know. I think we're all just at the entrance, kind of like.
That's right.
I probably would be taking some sort of lead, protection-wise, I suppose.
Remind me, have any of you been here before? Before the desiccation? Particularly Estrella?
I know that I've been to the outskirts of the old wood. Would I have gone to Haggs Hollow? I think maybe I would have seen parts of it, but I wouldn't really know like a crazy amount about the place.
Yeah, because by the time that you, you made your trek, it was already pretty deserted.
Right.
Because the grove left a long, long time ago. So it's kind of just slowly fallen into disrepair. Although it is home to some strange scientists. I think you probably all know that it's just, weirdos go to Haggs Hollow to study the old wood. And we're grateful for them, but they're weird. Is probably the general consensus about that. Has anybody else been or looked at, or does anybody else have any knowledge of Haggs Hollow?
I may have knowledge of it, but I've never been. I've lived most of my life in Blakeguard.
Okay.
Save for maybe 1 or 2 excursions with my wards during our ascension and stuff, but otherwise, no.
Okay.
So then I think maybe that I would probably be leading navigation-wise, keeping my eyes peeled for any signs, any buildings that look interesting, etc.
Okay, so as you are walking through and entering into the town, I think you can see the state of disrepair seems pretty intense for a lot of the houses and the buildings. There are a few, I think, that will catch your eye that seem to still kind of be functioning. And I think it's very clear when you see a house that somebody is currently living in. There might be like a lantern on, or there's a bunch of boxes and junk and all sorts of stuff kind of there, but you can tell it still kind of feels lived in. Whereas the other houses or cottages or hermitages will be like half the wall is missing. Like it's that broken down for the rest of the town. And I think if nobody does anything and you just continue walking through, are you looking for anything in particular? Because if I remember, you were coming here to try to see if you could find somebody to figure out what happened and what the state of events is in Godston Keep.
Yeah, I think I would be looking for any homes that look like they are lived in, I guess, or any main buildings like a tavern or something of that sort. Anything that would still be in use.
Yeah, beeline in for a tavern. That makes sense to me. Can everybody go ahead and roll either an observe? No, you got to roll observe. Some of you, if you have it in your mind versus your body, let me know.
My observe is in my mind, yes.
Okay.
Mine's in mind.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, everyone succeeded. Everyone succeeded. This is insane, except for Lear, who rolled a 100, which is a critical failure. Now, this is the first time we get to do this. So, Lear, open up your sheet. And you should see a cool, like, moon sun thing in the very center top of the sheet. And it's got bars on it. I want you to click the first bar.
12 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You're going to start filling up that bar anytime you critically succeed or critically fail. So that's 1, or 100, but also doubles count as well. Now, we're also introducing a new mechanic as well. Anytime you get a 100 or a 1, you get to increase that stat by 1 point. The skill. So Eagle Eye, increase it by 1 point.
Do I increase the base mind by 1 as well?
No. Nope. Just the skill.
Okay.
So I know that that's going to probably run us into trouble later, but it's part of what's happening. So,
I see.
yeah. Okay. Exciting. I wasn't expecting that to happen in the first set of rolls, but that's wonderful. Okay, so as you're walking through the town, the rest of you... Oh, so Lear, I think how this is going to feel for you then is just incredibly unsettling. I think you feel the way you felt when you went to Vega's hometown. And it just kind of... that whole thing comes back into your mind.
There's a lot of weight with what happened back then.
Mm-hmm.
I lost both of them equally for a while. I failed for the first time outside of the city for... Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Okay. And the rest of you, as you're looking around and walking, I can't believe you all succeeded incredibly so. So as you're walking down, the rest of you will look past the houses and see them as they once were. And then if you look closer, they continue to fade into disrepair. It's like the longer you look at it, the further back in time you can go to see when it was alive. And it's a very probably peculiar and strange feeling. Vega and Jude will recognize the feeling, and you will be reminded of the time that you were visiting Vega's hometown. But the other two, oh boy. And probably while you're kind of reacting to this, you do hear some voices in the distance. It's not named after anyone. Hag literally means wood on a hill. It was always named that. No. It's named after the old witch who planted the grove. Some woman didn't plant an entire forest that then walked away. Well, you see, that's why it's ironic, because it's named after the hag. No, it's ironic because it's enclosed wood and now it's like the edge of the wood, right? The hedge of it? Or wouldn't the irony be because it was named Hollow for Valley? No, friend, that's the point, right? The wood walked away. The hollow just up and left. So, what? It would be called Hag? No, witch or wood, I think. Oh, Hag Willie, you bimblebelly. You can hear this as you're walking through. And if you look over, you will see two people arguing outside of what looks to be an inn-ish tavern that seems to still be functioning. The light's on. They don't notice you, though.
I scurry up onto Streya's shoulder and I probably shouldn't look like this in town, huh?
No, you probably shouldn't.
If you'll excuse me then, and I scurry off to the nearest corner to try and unpolymorph.
Go ahead and roll for it. I think we actually technically said that you get out of the form 16 hours later, but it was just so cool last episode that I let it continue on. So why don't we say this is the moment where you do manage to polymorph out?
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you don't even have to roll for it.
Oh,
Actually-
excellent.
Roll anyway, just so that I can see if anything else happens. Nice. Okay. So you polymorph out of this form. What does this look like?
From my experience, I've seen a lot of other mages polymorph, and it's very beautiful. It's very elegant. There's a lot of what looks like motion blur going on. But for me, it's kind of gross.
Like it's making disgusting sounds, like the popping of the...
Slightly, you'll see my spider-like form start to bubble, and then all of a sudden it just kind of explodes with
Ooh,
a slight green
gross.
goo, and I look around myself and kind of dust myself off and shamefully walk around the corner covered in a slight green ooze.
Okay.
Are you still wearing the clothes that you were wearing when you turned into a spider in the first place?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Titus just walks out in the middle. Hey guys.
Just
totally
making sure,
naked.
you know?
Yeah.
Ready for a tavern.
Mm-hmm.
You bimble belly.
Guilty.
I look to Estrella. Have you heard of a tavern still running here?
It says Speckled Mandrake on the sign. It's old and dusty, but maybe it's even a little crooked.
Not knowing a crazy amount about the area, would I at the very minimum know of like some of the local kind of places? I feel as if that's something that I would probably take have researched before leaving, just in case something went
Just in case you
wrong.
needed to go. Yeah, okay.
Right.
I think then probably, oh man, that's so tough. Why don't you go ahead and roll for that?
Knowledge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because I think because it's such a weird town and it's in a state of disrepair, like what information is being updated, right? And like where are you
Right.
getting the information from?
And it's also been a long time too.
Yeah.
So would there be any shift on this or no?
No, we're going to say
You
no
think?
shift.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I don't know who would be traveling there and then traveling back to get you the information, you know? Like you'd have
Right.
to have maybe somebody dropping off goods and then they traveled back to Bringard and then the rumor spread, so it would just be a bit much.
Mhm.
Okay, so I don't think you know, but I mean, you know that there are supposed to be some scientists here studying the old wood. So maybe they're using the inn? Who knows?
Well, I don't remember learning anything about any taverns still running, but I mean, if there are people still living here, which there are supposed to be some researchers, right? It's probable that there is some sort of establishment they would go to, right? Maybe.
Yeah. What does everyone think about a warm meal? It's been a while.
Yeah, it
actually,
has. I didn't even realize that. It
wouldn't
has.
turn that down.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are approaching the Speckled Mandrake. So as you approach, these two do notice you. They stop their argument about the naming of Haggs Hollow. And you'll notice that the one on the left, the one that's been speaking with what we would recognize, viewers, as a southern accent, she's got a wide body, beautiful dark skin. She's got this kind of feel about her where she's like, you can kind of tell she's definitely thinking that she's winning in this argument and that, you know, she's infallible. She's got knee-length, shiny, dark brown hair, and it's very intricately braided and styled. And I think, thinking about how you guys grew up, I don't know if you would think anything of it right away, but clearly someone is doing this for her, right? It's that intricate that she can't do it herself. She has deep-set, honey-dipped brown eyes, narrow lips and face, and rosy cheeks. And she has notably small hands. And the person standing beside her is 6'4". He has brilliantly bright orange skin, and it's shiny, and it's weird. You've never seen anything like that before. It's very alarming, very strange, although he stands very proud, his chest out. He has a distinctive burn mark on his arm, and he has sunken, large brown eyes and a triangular face. He's got puffy cheeks and a cleft chin, and he's got medium-length brown hair that's worn in ponytails just above his ears, and he has really cool earrings that have a circle and then a straight line in between. And they both notice you and turn to look at you. Oh, hell! Hi there!
Hello. We are
I
wondering
wave
if you have
apprehensively.
any a place to eat in the inn. We are weary travelers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Traveling where? Just out of curiosity. Cat cut your tongue?
Passing through on our way north.
Where aren't we traveling?
Right.
We've been everywhere. We're on a tour.
Well, if you think you're going to get past the border up in Lord Lake, you can't. It's closed all the way through. So I wouldn't even bother. I'd turn back around.
Closed how? By who?
By Portland, they won't let anybody cross on account of the, water being gone and all. They think we're cursed.
Thank you. It's useful information. Thank you very much.
Is that where you were going? That's where you were going, wasn't it? You were trying to dip out of here and...
I mean, we might have swung in that direction, maybe, but...
Yeah. A couple of people have come on through and tried to do exactly that, and... No.
I suppose you can't blame them.
Well, no, probably not. I mean... I don't remember not feeling thirsty. I feel like at this point I should be dead. We should all be dead. But we just won't die. I
She
think...
brings up this point, and is this the first time that any of us would have at this point have even registered that was an issue?
Yes, probably. Because the rest of you have all been living very sheltered lives inside a place that probably still has some way of dealing with the crisis. But I think it's at this moment that you realize, because I think if you remember earlier on in the story, it was just something you didn't even think about. Like, it never occurred to you. But now that she has mentioned it, holy shit.
Some
She's
survivalists we are. Well, I turned to Jude in hushed tones. Why didn't we even think about this? How are we still alive? Do I feel thirsty now, DM?
Yes, you do.
Right.
Now you will feel thirsty. Very parched.
Do you have anything to drink?
Well, I think we have some wine if you want some of that.
That'll do just fine, yes.
Okay, we have some
Anybody
wine,
else?
right?
Thirsty?
Yeah.
Laura,
Yeah,
do
I
we
am.
have wine? I think we have wine. I think we have some wine left over, and then if it's purple, don't drink it, because that's the experimental stuff. So, and we're still trying to figure out what that does, yeah. But if it's red, if it's the traditional red, you're all good. And welcome through, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm Benta, and this here's Sally. So, yeah.
Nice to meet both of you.
Nice to meet you as well. And you said you're travelers from where?
The mainland.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, that just means not here on the border.
Oh, it's a small town down south. Not many people really know of it.
Oh. Well, we're researchers. I'm pretty sure we know of any town down south.
Oh, I mean, it's, fairly new sort of settlement. I don't think it's on any maps or anything yet.
Roll to deceive me, please.
I'm gonna roll well-intentioned.
Ooh, I like that. All right, now, so go to your sheet. You should see the moon and sun tracker. I need you to hit the noon o'clock for me on your sheet. Okay. Right. Okay, I don't care where you're from, right? I mean, as long as you're not murderers. Are you murderers? Wait a minute.
No.
Are you... Wait. I think you need to go and... I think and get the purple stuff. Can I give you... Are you a murderer? Because I'd love to give you this purple wine, because what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to tint around your mouth like pink, so that we know that you've killed people. It's a new experiment.
Oh.
Would you mind? I don't care that you've killed people. I just want to know if it works.
We're not murderers.
You can be rest assured that we are not murderers.
Oh, poo. All right, well. Next time.
I'd like to try it.
Yeah, does it do anything if you're not a murderer?
No, I don't think so. But, I mean, we have yet to try it on a murderer.
Have you
Wait,
tried it
so-
on anyone else?
Well, but maybe.
Hold on a second. So this isn't just some sort of stain that just stains willy-nilly. You have to be a murderer for it to take effect. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, that's right. It's probably at this time that one of you, I don't care who it is, might glance over at Sally and take note of the orange skin and go, this is probably from some sort of experiment.
What does orange imply, I wonder?
Indeed. Do you say that out loud?
Out loud.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up. Great.
My apologies, but you're just so, vivid.
Oh, well, don't mind him. I mean, it was an experimentation with something else, but it just means that he's magically inclined. It's been 6 months now. It should be going back to normal any day now. I
see.
promise, Sally. Any day now. Any day now.
But I want to try that purple one.
Oh, perfect. Oh, yeah. Let's go on inside. This will be exciting. Mora will be very happy to see you. Okay, Mora, Matthew, we got company! And then they'll lead you in to the Speckled Mandrake. And inside, it's your average tavern, but it's seen a lot of disrepair as well, but they're still trying to have upkeep. But it's like they very clearly do not care about tourism or anything like that. So it's functional, but it's not necessarily, the decorations are kind of tattered and worn. You probably see a couple of tables that have a bunch of like pack ratty maps and all sorts of stuff on it. It's kind of like you've walked into a town of scientist hoarders. So you might see like weird gadgets, roots of plants and things on tables where people eat. But then there are some tables that are kind of obviously open for you to sit if that's what you'd like to do. And you do see an elf, which is the only way I can describe this to you, but I don't think you've ever seen anyone like this ever behind the table.
Are they traditional in terms of how elfy they are? Their ears. Could you describe them,
yes,
please?
Their ears are elongated. Their face is kind of thin and elongated as well. They kind of look very alien, like they're stretched just a little too tall, and very, very like thin. Their arms are extra long. Their fingernails are extra long. It just looks like they, like God just lifted their head up and stretched them out a little bit, like Play-Doh.
And
Right.
looking around this place, we noticed the kind of shifting of the buildings themselves. Is there any sign that there is some sort of a time shift within here as well, looking
Ooh,
at
you can
the
roll for
tables
that,
and
my
the
sweet.
people?
Yeah, go ahead and roll for that. I think you would still sort of be experiencing it the whole time you're in this town because you all succeeded your rolls. So every once in a while, as you're looking over, you'll see the way it used to be, and including with people walking around and laughing and servers and stuff like that. You would see what it used to be for sure.
All right. Do you still want me to roll for that, right?
Yep.
Or are you saying that it's shifting here? Okay. Is that just general dine or?
You can do dine or you could do observe. Either one.
I'll do observe.
You'll get different things. Yeah. Okay. Partial success, but just barely over that 50. Just barely over 50. So you literally have 5 points in between your partial and your success. So it's pretty close to a success, basically, for you anyway. So I think as you're looking around the inn, I think, are you focusing on which part? Because you said very specifically, like you were looking for any sort of like time shifting happening here. Are you specifically looking for the past, or are you just studying, like kind of the effect, what's happening itself.
I think more so just the effect and whether it's happening within this building itself rather than just on like the exteriors that we've seen so far.
Yeah, no, it's happening with the building itself, and it's probably a little distracting for you here. To kind of, there's a lot happening when you're paying attention to it. I think you can put it out of your mind, but when you focus on it like you are now, it's a little bit, not nauseating, but it's almost like you're on the verge of breaking out into a cold sweat, but you're not. That weird feeling that you get.
Right.
This elf, have they recognized us? Have they, are they looking at us? Or are they just minding their own business?
They are looking at you with their bright, very round green eyes. And they've got an apron on. It's also green. And they've got their sleeves rolled up, kind of like a green cotton or linen tunic. And they don't seem to be as surprised as the other two were that you've walked in. Well, hello. What can I get for you?
I think it takes me half a second before I realize that they're talking to me because I'm trying to take in their appearance before I go. Nothing, thanks. I'm just getting used to the place. I take it you've perhaps fallen afoul of a few potions yourself then.
Sorry, what?
No, we were just told about potions and how they use them here to, I suppose, denote who's done what or who's, like, that one's orange.
Yeah, I've taken a couple myself, but nothing too strange. Nothing quite as strange as orange.
I see. Is that what did the ears then?
Please roll for me. I need you to roll. Fuck. This is some sort of defense.
I don't have that.
You don't say. What do you have that would protect your mind?
Well, I have a skill called Vaulted Mind.
Roll that then. I like that.
All right.
So you remember earlier before in the beginning of the call when you were like, I have this skill and I've never used it before and I'm probably never going to use it. Right, Johnny?
Right.
Well, you're using it today. Hopefully, maybe. 97.
97.
Okay. So I think instantly this being looks at you and is very shocked and startled and afraid. And Lear, you feel this almost like an empath might, almost like you are reading their mind, and you see suddenly the disguise that you were supposed to have seen when you walked in, and you know instantly you have seen through it, and they are startled and now frightened by your presence.
I see.
And they back up.
Okay. Whoa. Easy. What's the matter here?
Who are you? Binta?
My name
Sally?
is... My name is Leah Vega Jude. I'm a traveler. These are my companions.
And who are they?
Well, I'm sure they can introduce themselves for you, but once again, we mean nothing by our sudden Jude?
Yes, I'm Jude Vega Lear. And, we were just passing through. We're looking for a warm meal. And maybe a place to rest our feet, that's all.
Passing through to where?
We've been told that we can't really go much further. And so we are thinking of our next steps. But we saw your beautiful inn and thought perhaps we could rest. We've been traveling for a a while.
What are you folks wearing? I'm assuming you've donned disguises because you've talked about this before.
Yeah.
So what are
Um,
rags? What do they look like? Yeah, okay. Vega's in rags.
We may have talked about disguises, but I'm not too sure if I've done anything safer. Maybe perhaps taking off my circlet and maybe perhaps just putting it somewhere else.
So like you're still wearing armor. You don't look like normal travelers. Is that?
I've taken my armor off,
Mhm.
but I'm wearing sort of like the underclothes that would go along with it and the cloak, but I've removed the brooch that I would normally wear with it. So
Okay.
it is it's a fine cloak.
Yeah.
The
and
underclothes are standard
all-
issue, but
Are they standard issue
Yeah,
for
they would
you,
be-
or are they?
yeah,
you know,
probably,
they're probably high quality, right? So you very clearly.
yeah.
Yeah, like even the rags that I'm
Definitely.
wearing
Yeah.
will just be patchwork from things we already have, so they're gonna be nice looking.
Everything
Yeah,
is
I
nice.
just have
This
a
is your
tunic over my
first
chainmail.
town. Yeah, this is your first town, really, that you would be able to swap out clothes for
Yeah.
common clothes or anything like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's the same for Estrella. Titus, you're probably the only one that's in rags, right?
Yeah, I'm looking pretty disheveled.
You're the only
Slightly
one who
covered
probably
in
looks
cheap
like
film.
yeah, okay. All right.
You probably
Um,
also noticed that we have like, I don't know, like I would still be carrying my sword. I
Yeah.
wouldn't not
And
have my
some
sword
of you
with
have
me. So
fucking stones in your weapons.
In them, yeah.
yeah.
But
So-
with that being said, I feel like at the very minimum, I would be trying to hide them kind of like
Yeah.
towards my back, like under the cloak.
Yeah, I don't like to do that thing where it's like, oh, you didn't mention it at the beginning, so now you're stuck. Because
Right.
your characters, I think, would at least try to be a little bit discreet.
Conceal
yeah,
a little.
but
yeah.
I think it makes sense that your characters think that just hiding the weapons are enough. But anybody in their right mind can look at you and go, whoa, those are really nice underclothes. So,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
might not
that's a
know that. You
cloak.
might not think that way, right? Because they're just
don't think I
underclothes,
would.
right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so man, I
Yeah,
think
these clothes must have been cut some depth magic for sure. Right?
I think Matthew, this elf, will. It just has this look of absolute terror on his face, and he will not remove his eyes from Lear.
I walk up and put my hand on Lear's
Oh.
shoulder,
Okay, all right. The elf
and
will
I'm
back
just
up.
sort of pulling Lear back a little bit, like a couple of steps slowly. We truly mean
Okay.
no harm.
But you're
Just here for a hot meal.
not just travelers, are you?
We are just traveling. As for what vocation we are, that's neither here nor there.
How can you see me? They
I-
can't even see me. You guys
I know
glance
not.
over and you see, Binta over there trying to get the wine and everything already, and they're still bickering. They're still going back and forth about something else. This time wine, maybe probably the process of distilling it and all sorts of stuff. And
Why?
Right.
Why can't they see you?
I have a barrier, which you can clearly see through.
Who are
Well,
you hiding from? Why are you hiding?
That's a grand question that I wouldn't probably tell travelers just passing
Fair
through.
enough.
it seems rather important for you. I look to the other two hosts who don't seem to be paying any mind to our conversation. That your placement here is of importance to you. So I promise not to tell your friends any of this. However, if you wouldn't mind, perhaps maybe we could have a talk outside afterwards.
I'm not going anywhere alone with you. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
I'll happily have a conversation in the tavern. And
Okay.
they gesture maybe to
Somewhere
an empty
public.
table in the back. Yeah. And they kind of glance over the rest of you at this time. They're no longer locked eyes on Lear here, but they still look absolutely terrified, shooketh that you can all kind of see through their barrier that they have in place. Yeah, let me get you something to eat, and Binta will have your experiment. Careful with that stuff. Some of it's been permanent-ish.
I look to Vega.
Thank you, truly.
Right.
So they leave. They go into the back, presumably to prepare some food. You
Out
can
of
hear
sight?
the- Yes, out of sight.
I would like to make sure that they don't leave altogether.
Okay.
So,
How are you making sure they don't leave altogether?
well, since my dear brother Razaroth's not here, I'm going to look to my good friend, my new good friend, Titus. I'm going to nudge him and tell him to keep an eye on them. Now, I don't know much about Titus, save for the fact that he is into creepy crawlies and, spiders and all that, and have a way of seeing things, being places, so I don't know, I just nudge him, and on that, I just say, keep an eye on him, would you? Make sure he doesn't leave, if possible.
Alright, I can do that.
I thought
I
she
kind
might.
of squeeze my hand on Lear's shoulder. They look truly scared. Let's try to be kind.
Of course, it's just... Well, you saw them. We don't know who or what they are. First contact again, eh? But, maybe they have answers. We can't let them just escape.
They're going to have questions. We got to decide how we're going to answer them. Are we going to be honest? If we expect them to be honest, we should probably give them a measure of the same respect, right?
Correct?
But we don't have to tell them everything.
No. I don't think I saw any of their kind during the fall of Blakeguard, so... Then again, it would be naive to think that that means they have no part to play in it.
I start to explore the rest of the tavern to see if our friend has left or not.
Okay, go ahead and roll. You can decide. You can do this kind of quiet, or you can just try to be casual.
I'm gonna try and do it casually.
Okay.
To the best of my ability.
So go ahead and roll your observe. You'll have a -10 shift.
And when we were looking at the tavern itself, when we were outside,
Nice.
we wouldn't have seen any side entrances or anything like that, I'm assuming.
I don't... you can roll, because I think you naturally look for that stuff. And Titus rolled a 69 for those listening. Oh,
Ooh.
success doubles. So I need you to go to your sheet in the middle. I want you to do not the one on the right, but the one on the left. You're going in the other direction. Because it was a success. You see that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I think. To the left, right?
You're just going to go
Awesome.
counterclockwise instead of clockwise. Okay. So I think you did know there is a side and a probably because you were only coming up from the sides. You did know there was a side exit at least, but I don't know if you know there's another one on the back side. But you know there's at least one other exit behind the kitchen.
And Titus, were you following them directly, or were you going outside?
I was following them the way that they cut. So if they walked towards the bar, I walked towards the bar. I don't know, 22 seconds after the conversation between Vega and Lear and Jude.
Okay, and to clarify, Lear, would you have made that loud enough for the group of us to hear, or just Titus?
In my mind, I imagine that you two are fairly like our group, inseparable even within a group, so if I was next to Titus talking to him, I wouldn't imagine you'd be more than like a shoulder apart, to be honest.
I also imagine that even if you were a shoulder apart, you guys have trained together. You know when he's scouting. So it's totally reasonable, I think, for you to notice that he's going to do something and then you go into support, if that's what you would like to do.
I probably would then try to kind of creep out towards the front door and take a look on the exterior just to make sure.
Right, so that
Give
they're
him some
not like,
backup.
bailing and
Do a
then
perimeter.
Yeah, okay. Are
think I
you
need fresh
standing
air.
on the are you standing on the porch, or are you actually going to circle back around to the back of the
I think I would try to sneak around towards the back. I'm not sure how well I could conceal that, but
Let's go ahead and roll for it. Is that new one? The 45? The partial?
Mhm, the partial.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're scared shitless, and I think they're worried, but I think they're worried about not you coming from around the other side, so I don't think they notice you. But you are able to come around. They are in the kitchen. You can see the back door is wide open, probably to let the breeze
Breeze
through, yeah. You don't feel one though, but yes, it is open, and they are kind of like panicked looking, making some food, pulling some stuff out of the cupboards and using a ladle to kind of pull up some soup, maybe stew.
I'll just lean on the building and listen in case anything is said or they do anything.
Roll for me one more time. This will be observe. Actually, I'll count this the same because you rolled doubles. So since you specifically said in case they say anything, you do absolutely hear them mumbling the whole time, but it's in a language you do not understand or recognize. But it's like, if you were to guess, it very much sounds like they're just talking to themselves, and panicked. It's not like they're sitting here chanting or doing any magic or spell. They're very much like seeming to talk to themselves while they're working away in the kitchen. Okay. And it's probably at this time that Binta comes back with like 4 different bottles of wine and 4 different glasses for you, Vega, to try. And so this one, I want you to try this one first. Just take a nice little tiny sip there. And
is this normal wine or is this special wine?
no, this is the purple. You said
This is the
I could
purple-
test the killer instinct in
Yeah,
you.
but you've brought like 4 of them out. I
Okay,
didn't
well,
know if that one was the
it's
killer
because
one
I
or
have
the
a
other
couple.
one.
I have a variety, and I don't normally get to run this experiment. So if you're
Okay.
we'll try all 4.
And I look a
Wait,
little
are
bit.
all 4 experiments?
Oh yeah, and they're different shades of purple. You can clearly tell it goes from like dark all the way up to a lavender.
I look a little bit conflicted, I think, right now. Like, you can see that this sort of resolve is there to drink this. But it's not because I'm very curious about this kind of thing, but I think you would know that it's not necessarily pure, I don't know, experimental curiosity. This is for a reason. And I sniff the I assume we've been poured a glass, so I would sniff the glass.
Yeah. It smells unlike any wine you've ever had. I need you to roll randomly for me, though, because you've been drinking wine over at the apprentice's place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and just roll a 1d100.
Ooh. 48.
I think it smells slightly familiar to you in a way that you know, like, okay, this is some sort of berry maybe, or weird pine fruit that has been sort of kind of distilled. And I think you would recognize that it is definitely magical in its properties, and it's probably from the old wood.
So, not a magic I would necessarily recognize, because the old wood had a strange sort of magic, didn't it?
That's right, yeah. But I think it's safe for you to go, okay, this either... I'm not sure how you kind of interface with magical things around you. I don't know if it's smell or feeling or sight, because I imagine it's different for everyone.
I think it's like a texture. You know how you can feel silk is different to how fur is, and it just feels...
When you're walking by something like the old wood, does the air have a texture then?
Yeah, it would feel like
Cool.
you're being draped in something.
Okay.
Slight sensation.
Then this feels, when you smell that, probably all the way up to your cheekbones, maybe kissing your earlobe, you get the same sensation when you were walking by the old wood. Because you're not quite on the edge of it anymore in this town. This town's a little bit safely away from it. You have to take a little bit of a trek to get to it.
How did you make this?
Oh, well, thank you for asking. I took about 4 different pines from the fallen oak out there. Well, oak, whatever it is. And I crushed them. And then I took that and I mixed it with the elderberry that we have kind of up along the hill there. And then I used some old mandrake root.
Huh.
And, of course, some other kind of magic. But, yeah.
Some other kind of magic?
Well, yeah, because I need to actually do the spell to reveal. It's kind of like a revealing magic. And then there might have been some blood in there somewhere along the line, just to reveal if you're a murderer. You know, gotta have that.
Right, yeah, just some blood from some unknown source.
Well, I definitely know the source.
No or new?
New.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
they did.
Yeah, okay. Did you kill them?
No,
Did you murder them?
no. Otherwise, I would have been trying this myself.
Yeah,
Why didn't I think of that? Sally! Why didn't I think of that? We could have been doing this experiment this whole time. We just need to be murderers.
Kill somebody. And I contemplate the glass a little bit more, and then I throw it back.
Ooh, okay. I need you to go ahead and roll dine, but I also need you to tell me, have you killed anyone? Have you killed anyone?
That's what I want to find out.
I
I want
know.
to know if I actually killed Emily.
Yep, yeah. I figured that's what you were trying to do. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be very careful, though. Do you think you killed her?
No. I don't.
Do you think, or do you hope?
It was hope, and now, after my time with Erithir, I think I didn't kill them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll dine, please. Please critically succeed on this, because this would be so dope. Partial success.
Partial success.
Okay, that's okay. There's more to it, but you did not. So you know that there might be more to it than kind of what is happening here, and this spell is revealing something very particular.
I look around at everyone, just like,
Yeah.
because I can't see myself.
Yeah, you can't see. So her around her lips do not turn pink, but it does become a weird jaundice yellow. And Binta kind of squints. Sally, what the hell?
What?
It's yellow.
Yellow.
Oh, now that's not supposed to happen. What the hell does that mean? Oh,
What does that mean?
and you see Sally kind of like, pull out a pair of spectacles and kind of like lean in. That's definitely odd.
So you've never seen, but it's not red, right? So that means I'm not a murderer, right? I haven't killed anybody.
Yet. What if it's saying that she might in the future? What if it's like,
Surely now you're just guessing, no? I mean, how do you even know this in the first place?
well, we knew the pink. The pink is supposed to mean you absolutely killed somebody, but it's not supposed to be yellow. No, that is very,
Okay.
very, very strange. I don't know why it would be like that. Do you mind having this third one here? Skip the second one. Just try the third one.
What does this one do?
Well, it's sort of the same thing, but it's supposed to be more accurate. It's probably the best way I can describe it. The color will deepen.
Narrator,
Yes.
I hate to break up the narrative, but just regarding rolling,
Yes.
I think we explained before we started how rolling worked and how successes and partial successes worked, but
Yes.
in the case of rolling dine
Yes.
without a substat, how do you get a success?
You do have a substat. Everyone should have one substat
Because
now
she
in Dine.
did not roll a substat, therefore there was no chance of having success.
Oh, what's your substat?
Well, I don't have one because I just have the colors after
You can
the
pick
training.
any color that you want. You should
Okay.
re-roll.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Leah, this
surely
is
she
not
could use her
helpful.
previous number.
I think we
I'm
will.
just-
I actually think we'll stick with the previous number just because we've already done it
All right.
narratively. But yes, when I tell you roll in your Dine apprentice, you can choose any one that you'd like. Anything that makes sense to you that you think.
Okay.
For whatever it is that we're doing. Okay, so do you drink the third wine?
I will sniff it once again, make sure there's nothing crazy going on with it. And
Smells
get a sense of the
very
magic as well.
Similar, yeah. Ooh, okay. So go ahead and roll. How are you sensing this magic?
So I think I'd like to. You can divine the past, so I'd kind of maybe like to get a sense for the history of how it was created, maybe the history of the magic inside
Ooh,
it.
Okay, so then that's white.
Partial.
Okay. Yeah, I think that when you divine Vega, what's it like? Do you see it visually or hear or smell or?
Again, I get it. It's a sensation. I get a
Yeah.
sensation of
Oh,
familiarity.
okay. So, do you feel maybe what they felt while they were making it? Like, do you feel kind of the berries that she's crushing in her hands as she's making it? Do you feel the
Yes,
page
and
of
in
the
terms
book
of
turn?
magic, it'll be like an intent as well, like an intention
Yeah,
of
okay.
pleasantness or negative.
Okay. Then you excitement probably. You get a thrill and a rush, and your heart will race as you are crushing these berries. You will feel the sensation of the page of a spell book being turned, and then maybe the disappointment and chastising yourself because you got berry on the page, and you feel all of these things. And the reason you're feeling all of this is because it's a partial success. Had you fully succeeded, I think you would only feel what you want to feel, and you'd be able to kind of be more precise. But she does seem to be telling you the truth. Like this was her intent when she was making it, to try to see if she could uncover a murderer. However, she does seem to be not trying to use it on people, which probably strikes you as odd. Like, that's not her end goal.
I doubt it.
Woohoo! Go ahead and roll again for me, whichever one you want, whatever color you want. I'm assuming it will be...
Critical failure.
Holy shit! Okay, so please go ahead. You get to increase that stat by 1 point, so you rolled blue. So increase your blue. And I mean, the blue up to 41 now. Permanently. It will remain that way now. And then don't forget, on your tracker, you need to mark another one.
To the right.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. Wow. Okay. I think, I need you to roll me a D100, I guess. This is the only way for me to do this.
42.
Okay. We're going to see what looks like pink tree branches spread from your mouth, almost like veins in color, spread from her mouth, and they spread all up over your eyes and temples up to the top of your skull, base of your skull.
Vega?
Do I feel this?
Yes, it feels like... I'm going to type something to you, and then I want you to describe it, because I don't want to speak for you. So probably a mix of feelings there.
Ooh. What is that?
Vega, your face.
Oh, holy
What did you
hell.
do to her?
What is it doing? Why is it doing that?
Well, okay, so this is odd, but can you count these? Count these. Sally, I need you to start counting.
What did you do?
We just did the experiment. Calm down. 1, 2, 3. I can't count all these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She just begins counting and continues all the way up. 42, I think.
It's not.
Is that right? Did I count that right? Double check that. Double check my math.
That can't be
Oh,
right.
just-
That can't be right.
42,
right.
yeah.
What can't be right?
You've killed 42 people? Is that right?
No.
You are a murderer. It's okay.
No,
We just
I
need
have-
to know for the
no.
science.
No, I haven't.
Well, back to the drawing
haven't-
board then, I guess.
I don't think I've killed anybody.
Right. Well, thank you anyway. All right, Pinta, let's back to the drawing board, I guess, for us. And Pinta
what
looks
does that
like
mean?
crestfallen. Well, it means it didn't work.
Do-
It means I'm
Do you have more of that?
more of what? The wine?
That one, yes.
Yes. Would
May
you?
I try it?
Well, I mean, you can
Surely
try.
you don't
but-
want to look like Flora too, Jude.
I mean,
This is folly.
yeah. Well, hey, now, we learn by failing. We get better when we fail, because we know what not to do, and we know how to maybe change it and tweak it, and it's not folly, it's science. Thank you very much.
If this has a way of figuring out something from your future that is powerful, that will influence any decisions you might choose to make. I know you're not a fool, Jude. If you're going to do it,
I won't leave you alone in it.
Well, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter. Either way, it doesn't work. So I'd have to spend some time refining it and maybe coming up with a different batch. I mean, you
I'll take it as it is right now.
well, but that would be wasting it, because it's probably just going to do that to you. She hasn't killed anybody, so I know it doesn't work. So why would I have you try it? Just doesn't make any sense. Scientifically, I mean. I have to go refine the formula. Now, if you'll excuse me, thank you for participating in my experiment. And she'll leave if nobody stops her. She'll just like pick up her stuff, and she's very dejected and sad.
Please, may I have it? Just
You gotta roll. Are you just trying to intimidate, or are you just asking?
no, I'm just asking.
Okay.
Just one last time. She
yeah,
can
go
say
ahead and
no
roll.
again. It's
Yeah, go ahead and roll, I guess, to try to influence her.
Well, it's a good try.
I don't think she hears you, actually. She's kind of mumbling
Okay.
to herself about her own calculations and whatever, and she is no longer as spirited as she was when she was arguing earlier, and she's kind
I
of
think
walking
I'm
back.
also, yeah.
Yeah, and you
I
might...
think I'm also like not as committed. I think like the
Yeah.
argument that Vega gave me
yeah.
definitely impacted, but okay.
And Sally, who's incredibly, tall compared to Binta, just, taps her on the shoulder and is like, there. We'll get it next time. And they kind of walk off and leave. And it's probably at this time that your new friend, Matthew, will come back into the room with a bunch of food on trays. Probably trembling hands, and bring it over to a table where you'll sit. What happened to them?
We tested one of their wines.
Well, right. And he points to
Yeah.
your mouth. Like a face, really.
I am staring through, I think, everybody at this point,
Okay.
as if like really deep in thought.
I'm looking right back at Vega like I don't know the person anymore.
Thank you for the food.
You're welcome. Just let me know if you
I
need
take
like
this
to-
opportunity to sit down and start stuffing my
Yeah,
face
I bet.
profusely,
Yeah.
ravenously.
Yeah. I bet.
So that is what I will be doing.
I'd probably delay a little bit just so that they didn't really think I was on the outside watching them and I was just trying to get fresh air or something.
Yeah, okay.
'Cause I would have heard them leave the kitchen. So I'd come
Yes,
back in not too soon after.
And you come back
but
in
not
from
too
the
long
front,
after.
I assume, so that it's
Yeah.
like you were just getting, yeah, okay. They're oblivious. They're too focused on the fact that, you know, you guys can see them as they are. Well, just let me know if you need anything else. I'll be right there. And they point to the bar. And then they go stand awkwardly behind the bar, staring at you. They don't stop staring at you while you eat.
Vega, eat something.
You should. It's really good. It's not the best, but it's pretty good.
I don't.
You don't eat?
At all, no.
You
Can I-
said they're staring at us, right?
Yeah. It's more just like out of fear. They're not like,
Okay.
yeah, I think they have the same expression before, like, who the heck are these people? It's not like they're standing there narrowing their eyes waiting for you to eat their poisoned meal. It's more just like they're like, holy, who is this? They're trying to figure you out.
It makes us stand out more if we don't eat.
I'm pretending to play with my food, I suppose. I'm breaking it up. I'm moving it around the plate, but I am not eating this food.
Why?
I think internally I'm conflicted.
Yeah.
Well, internally I'm conflicted. We've come to this strange place full of strange people doing strange things that we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And here are my wards opting to poison themselves. I'm confused. There must be something going wrong here. Some sort of miasma, something. Everything is passing strange. It's weird.
If Lyra is not eating, then I will also not eat.
I take this moment to notice them not eating. And guys, if anything's wrong, I'll be the first to go. I don't think this guy is out to harm us. He's just curious, scared, you know.
I don't think any of them meant to harm us.
How could you be so sure?
They didn't force the wine upon us, did they? I volunteered. They could have said it was a necessity or a test or anything like that, but no, this was my choice. You need to eat. And I will
I have
begin hesitantly trying to eat.
If it makes
I
you
have my
feel any
rations.
better, Clear.
That's
I
right.
went around back and I was listening to them. And they were seemingly really panicked.
Well, panic isn't good, is it?
No. No, it's not, but I have a feeling they wouldn't poison us.
Do we even have a way of testing poison? Even if I wanted to?
Not one that wouldn't draw attention to us, more than likely.
Well, there you go. If you all feel so strongly about this, eat up. Okay? We have our rations, after all. At the very least, I am a practiced healer. Eat up, eat your fill. With any luck, nothing should happen to you. You should be even stronger tomorrow. If not, I'll be here for you. And I nudge my plate towards Titus, who's become a, waste disposal bin.
I gladly take it across the table, making a loud screeching sound, and start to dig in twice as hard.
So who
Can
does
I
mine
try
over
to
too?
read?
Oh, yep. No, go ahead. Who wants to go first?
Straya can go first.
Okay.
No, I just followed Lear's path, and I give my food over to Titus, so at least it's being eaten.
Okay. But you two do not eat. Titus, you're going to eat their portions. And Vega, you're eating, right? Okay. And
Yeah.
Jude?
I wanted to. Is it possible for me to read into Lear and like his body language to try and understand what's happening?
PvP, let's go. What are you rolling? You'll have a plus 20 shift. You have maximum shift when you guys roll against each other this way because you're so close.
Heart knows only virtue is what I'm gonna go for.
Okay.
I'm trying to read his heart. Plus 20?
Yeah. Partial success. So we're going to leave it
It
up
would
to
be a
Lear.
success because of the way the shift is
because of the
calculated.
shift. Yep. Okay. So, Lear, would you like to describe I'm assuming you're not doing anything magical for this, Jude, or it's just kind of like I know him so well, I can his mannerisms.
I'm trying to figure out like what what is he
So what mannerisms
freaking out about at the moment?
are you making so that she kind of recognizes how you're feeling? Because I think we'd all like to know.
Okay, I suppose at first glance, maybe perhaps normally as live in Blakeguard, I come from royal stock. I've been basically bred to be a certain way, straight back, always making sure that you have this kind of demeanor about you that, you can trust me and I'll trust you. We'll get through it. I think in this moment, I'm likely more slouched, it's very subtle. I'm still trying to keep up on appearances, I suppose, to people around me. It's just how I am. But those who know me as deeply as maybe Jude or Vega, they would be able to pick up any small, micro expressions and that kind of thing. In this moment, I think I'm just a little bit more slouched. I'm perhaps not maintaining eye contact as I normally would between her or Vega or anybody else, really. In fact, it's more I am kind of almost, in a sense, studying them, and the second they do notice I'm looking at them, instead of, one of those, eyes locked in a kind of knowing kinship thing, it's more of a, okay, and I'm looking somewhere else. As far as insight's concerned, because she got a success, how I'm feeling is that we've gone through a lot. Not only have we grown up together and such, but ever since the fall of Blakeguard, all the way down to moving south, we've gone through death, torture, we've gone through so much. Now, all of a sudden, we've come across some strange rabbit person who married me, and now an elf, and scientists. The only other scientists we know are people who basically, strung up Titus to try and drain him. And in this short while of us being in this village, Vega basically gave herself up to their poisons to see if it would work and help them. I mean, I trust her because, of course, as of a week ago, she's now the oldest and the wisest of us. But, I suppose that trust kind of started faltering when she started to react the way she did to this. The trust that I had that, things will be okay. It's Vega kind of maybe perhaps ebbed away in a way, I suppose, because of, now the whole spidering in her face and stuff because of this issue. So I don't trust the location. I don't trust the people. I don't trust my group's trust. And so I'm just a bit more apprehensive about the whole thing. Because at this moment, I feel like I have to be, for their sake.
Okay. Yeah, I reach out and I once again I put my hand on his shoulder. I'm firm when I do it. I have a firm grip, but this time it's definitely on the more gentle side. And I sort of lean in close to whisper to him. It was a weakness for me to ask, to try it. I saw Vega looking scared, and I didn't want to leave her alone. But it was her choice. And it was my choice to not leave her alone in that. Obviously, I wasn't influenced, and I'm sorry if that made you feel uncomfortable. It wasn't good wardship on my behalf. I'm sorry.
No, don't be.
The elf bolts for the door.
Okay. I think at this point this is happening so soon.
Mm-hmm.
Jude's hand is on my shoulder. The elf is bolting. I think there's eye contact before I'm able to even, respond.
Mm-hmm.
I think I break away and I tell the group, well, after them, you know?
I'd be on the outside of whatever we're sitting on because I was the last one to come in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'd also possibly be closest to the door.
I also like the idea that since you both are playing this brand new reactionary class, that you get to react. The elf
Right.
rolled 27 to bolt for the door at the opportune moment when you seemed distracted. But you both are reactionary classes, so if you want, you can go ahead and I think get kind of a leg up to pursue. You can both just bolt.
Right. Well,
Also
it makes
for the
sense
door.
too because
Yeah.
we weren't eating as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It just makes sense to me, I think. Okay, so you guys are now chasing this elf. Who else? Do the other three of you follow after as well?
I
if
see
Lyra
Rhea
said
running.
after them, yeah, yeah,
I go where
I'm
Lyra
going
goes.
after.
Okay.
I don't put down my spoon though.
Everybody go. Of course not. Everybody go ahead and roll your body stat. Unless you have some other bullshit that you want to use, Vega. You can use magic if you want, because you float, right?
This is for, what's the word
Your
now?
Pursuit.
Is this the overall
Would it
body
not
stat?
Whatever is it. When I say roll something in your body, just lawyer me.
Right,
Roll
sorry.
anything that you want, whether it's your
Okay.
physical
Right.
athleticism or if you've got some special bullshit like I run 5 miles every day, something like that. If you've got a skill like that, then definitely roll it. Tell me what you're rolling for sure, or how
So
you're
this
doing
is
it.
not our typical initiative. This is body.
No, yeah, this is a body. You are chasing this,
Okay.
actively chasing this
And
person.
for Lyra and myself, since we
Mhm.
are reactionary, do we
Mhm.
get any sort of
You
a shift?
do, yeah. We're gonna give you a 10 shift.
91.
The two of us.
What is happening?
Wow. Okay.
Oof.
So for those listening, we have a 49 partial success. We have 78, 98, 91, and a 54. Okay. So I think as you guys bolt out of this tavern, you are making pursuit. Ooh. You guys train your whole lives. It doesn't make sense to me that you kind of can't keep up with this elf, but also it is an elf and this elf is very magical, so it also makes sense to me that you might not be able to keep up with the elf, but also it might be fun to interpret this in a different way. So I think you can decide either you're going to be acutely aware of your physical condition, as in it's very difficult to breathe or something along those lines, like when you breathe in it's sharp, cold, painful air, or you cannot keep up with said elf. It is your choice. And
I
each of
think
you
this
can decide.
room is a. I think this room is a. As you described, it's kind of like a scientist hoarder room. So
Yes.
there's like stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
And we were not preparing to have to, like run out after someone. So we weren't positioned
Mhm.
like directly for the door or anything. So I think I'm just trying to like get around the stuff because there's so many tables and things in the way,
Mhm.
and I might bump into some papers and knock a bunch of stuff over as I'm trying to turn quickly to get out the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is everybody else basically going for I just can't keep up with the elf, or is anybody going to try to keep up with the elf for sacrificing their physical condition?
I think
I'll
that,
sacrifice physical.
Yeah. For me, I've been paying so much attention to the shifting that's going on within, and I feel kind of a little bit of like a little sick from that, I think. So it's kind of making me somewhat dizzy, I'd feel.
Okay.
But I think I'd still be pushing through that.
Okay.
For me, it's a matter of, hey, we just realized we haven't drank ever. And during the mealtime, I didn't eat or drink at all. And I'm still cognizant of this, but this goal is more important
So
right
you're-
now.
Yeah, you're feeling thirstier than you've ever felt in your whole life.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. So then the two of you do not lose eyesight and contact with this elf. So I think you'll probably chase them halfway through the town before you see them approach another building, burst through the doors, close, and disappear inside.
Okay. So I point out to them and I say, did you see that, Estrella?
Yeah. Are you alright?
I'll be fine. But you saw that where they went, correct?
Yeah. I look up. Are there any windows or anything of that sort?
I need you to make one more roll for me. I know it doesn't make sense because you have eyeballs and you're literally using your eyebrows to look, but trust me, this is weird.
Okay.
But it's got to be magical, some sort of magical observation.
Okay.
Do you have
Then I
anything
guess I
like
would just
that?
do my nocturnal flow. I mean, there's arcane knowledge and intuition, but then there's just my general magic stat that I have for it.
Nocturnal flow. I'll let you use that for sure. You can have a plus 10 for reasons. Partial success.
Whoa.
What?
It's the same number as Titus rolled, sorry. Whenever there's
Whoa.
like two numbers, 54.
and 54. This building doesn't look like the rest of the architecture here. And I think that stands out to you right away as you're looking for windows. You don't see any, and there is a plaque on the door when you approach.
And what does it say? I look at it.
I'm going to put it up on the screen here so that people can see it. And I'm going to put it up in the roll 20 for you. Hopefully, if it'll let me. Now, do you guys see that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what you see on the door. So for those listening, it says, who wants to read it? Somebody read it for me.
You see it, right, Estrella?
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming you would too when you come up. Go ahead and roll me magic, anything that you would use kind of to see if you see the same thing she sees.
My magic, okay.
Yeah.
No shift? Or?
What's your magic called?
My magic is called, Penance and Reprieve or Sovereign Reflect. One of the two. I don't know why I have two, but I have two.
Yeah, either one is fine and no shift.
Okay. 92.
92.
So,
okay.
yes.
This is going to sound weird. Estrella, do you want him to see this?
I think as soon as I saw it anyway, I would point it out
Yeah.
to Hare.
Okay. Now you see it.
Okay.
But it's very like
Look.
you didn't see it, and then she goes, look, and then it's like, what the fuck? There is a moment of that definitely wasn't there a second ago, I don't think.
Okay. Was this under some sort of barrier, perhaps? Like the elf?
Maybe.
What does it
doesn't
say?
look the same. Hallowed ye who mourn, thou wilt find comfort. Hallow ye who hunger, thou wilt be sated. Hallowed ye who lament, thou wilt find rapture. And hallowed ye who remorse, for soon thou shan't recall. No magic, no brawls, no hunting, only one at once, no trading.
No. Is it some sort of bar.
Well, the last line. Hallowed
What?
ye who remorse for thou shan't recall?
As in... Huh. So if you're grieving, you'll forget.
Maybe.
Is it at this
Plus-
point we might catch up with
Yeah,
them?
yeah, I think so. Anytime
Right.
you guys can roleplay catching up.
That's no life to live. They're in here, in this place. We think it might be under some sort of barrier,
Yeah.
but
What, did you try going in?
Vega,
no.
take a look.
Do I
As
see it?
soon as Estrella points it out, yeah, you guys can all see it. It's up to you. You can roleplay. If you want, you can roll to see if you've all saw it from the very beginning if you'd like, or you can just roleplay it. I trust you.
What does that mean?
And why the rabbit?
A good question. Why the rabbit?
Cloudy
Well-
night sky.
So for the listeners, we've read out the phrase, but there's a card next to the phrase. It's got a rabbit that's kind of nestled within a moon with stars inside it. The moon is radiating, and it has 3 stylistic clouds around it as well. It's interesting. It's different.
Only one at a time. One what? One person? One...
Quite likely.
And that's a quote. A quote from whom?
Now,
Soon thou shan't recall remorse. It's just reminded me of Erifir.
in what way? Well, apart from that way.
You know, just, he didn't want to remember certain things, and
Yes, and he made us forget you too, didn't he?
among other things, yeah.
Well, it does seem as if whatever place this is, it seems like some sort of haven. You know, some place where someone can hide.
No
However,
trade.
yes, it looks like there are rules. Obvious ones, you know, like ones you might find in a pub. No magic, no brawls, we had that in Blakeguard.
Yeah.
No hunting. Makes sense for this person to run away here. Because what are we doing? We are hunting him. I think they might be here to protect themselves. We might still be able to talk to them, but only one of us.
Well, if they're in danger, we wouldn't be able to go in then, right? If it's a safe haven. But if they're not in danger, which they aren't, really, then
Right.
we should be able to walk through the doors.
The chasing and hunting are 2 different things.
There is, however,
Perhaps we
That
should
4th
keep still
rule.
in our-
But we don't know what that
Only
means yet.
one
That
at
can mean
once.
anything. I mean, only one. It's some sort of society, right? Maybe like a club or something like that.
Well, they can kick us out if we're not allowed in.
How large is this building?
Oh, that's a very good question. You rolled partial, correct?
Mhm.
It's really long. Like, it's not wide. Like, I think the most of the architecture that you've seen around Din, like your buildings are kind of like squat, square, you know, and this one
Right.
is very strange. It's just kind of like maybe wide enough for 3 or 4 tables, you'd think, if you were trying to visualize, but then it stretches really, really far back. So yeah, it's like strange to you, but decently sized. I think, are you trying to assess if it's a club or...
Yeah, I think more so when that was brought up, I would be trying to think of whether or not this would facilitate a large amount of people. or if it looks like it's just stylistic or something. Which is hard to tell from the outside, obviously.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of... The only way I can say this to you, Estrella, is that this building is trying to impress you.
Do we get any sense of anything else being hidden? Because this wasn't apparent to us at first either.
You can roll. Go ahead and roll. Anybody that wants to roll to kind of like see and study the building anymore will just need to roll some sort of magic stat. If you roll observe, that's fine too. Just let me know.
Okay.
Success.
Finally. Yes.
I think I already failed my observe.
Okay. Did you do a magical one, Lear?
I did a magical one, yes.
Okay. All right. So Jude failed, Titus succeeded,
Yes.
and Vega succeeded, correct? And those are straight up successes for those listening. They're not partials. So absolutely, there is so much more to this building, Vega, but I don't really know how to describe to you what else is there unless there's something specific that you're looking for, because you're basically like, you know, is there more to this building than meets the eye? And yes, the answer is absolutely yes, and it is absolutely magical, and it feels weird and unfamiliar and familiar and scary and safe all at the same time.
Does the magic feel like that sharp woodland magic, or does it feel more familiar magic?
You have never experienced this magic before, ever, but it doesn't feel strange and dark like the old wood.
Okay. And I suppose I'd be looking for more signages, really, more things that are designed to be hidden to the average eye.
Yeah, you will see a sign that says the Gilded Rabbit. And it's got a gold rabbit on it. And you did not see that before. But basically, because in you two, Titus, because you both succeeded, you will see the building a little bit more clearly than you did before. It's covered in this beautiful green moss, which shouldn't be here because of desiccation. It's glittering almost, sparkling in the light.
I'd like to go touch the moss.
Ooh, absolutely.
It's been a long time since we touched anything resembling vegetation.
Oh,
I think.
it's cool to touch, and you can feel the dampness, and it tickles.
Yes.
And
A memory I
you
forgot.
feel magic come to meet you there when you touch your hand to it. It's like a welcoming, inviting, happy to see you. Almost like maybe a puppy.
It's called the Gilded Rabbit, I think. That's the name. I mean, that makes sense.
I'm sorry,
It's
the
rabbit.
Gilded Hare. Yes.
Oh, the Gilded Hare.
I see. I
There's only
think
one
on my
thing for it.
face.
We have to try
Right.
and go in.
Exactly. One at a time. Does that mean we can't all go together, or does that mean that literally one through the door at a time?
I don't know. It's interesting that there's a rule about no magic, but this place is bathed in it.
Well, I mean, if it's a respite, then it makes sense, no?
I mean, I guess.
Who's going
All right.
first?
I take a long stare at the rabbit, and I would like to see if it resembles the mount of Miss Bogsworth, if that is her name.
Yes. Okay. You can roll. That is not her name, but it was close. I don't expect you to
Not a
remember. It does.
It does.
Yeah,
Excellent.
but there's no saddle or anything on it. But you're like, hey, that does look like very similar to the weird mount that they had.
Okay.
I mean, well, there's nothing to it, is there? We need answers. We can't use magic, so I can't...
I will go first. Lair.
Yeah, whoa,
Jude.
easy. Let's talk
wait,
about
wait.
this before we go into this, whatever
Right.
this is.
Vega is the
something is
most
wrong.
magically inclined right now. If
Correct.
there's anyone who is going to be able to combat whatever it is that tower can do, she should go first.
I agree. However, I turn to Titus and I say, Titus, every now and then I see you practicing, spinning webs and stuff with your hands like it's thread. Would you consider that magic? Yes, no, right? Yes?
Yeah,
Yes.
I need to polymorph to get to that state. So yes, in some way I need to make my blood into web. So yes, that would be magic, I would say. I have an iron stomach. If it's eating stuff you might need help with, but I don't think that's magic nor.
No. I was just thinking about... Forget it. All right, well in that case...
Go first.
All right, I didn't mean to volunteer you, but I think it's our best shot.
Maybe there's a lot of strange stuff in that tower I was in for a whole year. Maybe there's something I'll recognize here. And I slowly, as always, floating slightly, I touch my feet to the ground and pass my staff over to Leah and take my sword that I've been neglecting.
Okay. And you touch
When she goes
the
through,
gilded handle and go through?
Yeah.
Yes.
when she goes
I'll be
through,
right behind you.
I want to try and use that connection that I have with her in order to see through her eyes.
Holy shit. Okay. Ooh.
And like hear, if I can. I mean, obviously depending on the level, but
you can definitely try. This is magic.
yeah.
Okay.
Would I feel this? I feel like I would resist this if I didn't know it was happening. I'd think someone else was doing it.
Then
I've
I
had that
think-
experience
yeah,
before.
you have. Yeah. Then I
Right.
think you're rolling against each other.
I feel like you might know though because of that time where you casted, but it came through my body.
And I would know that your magic would have a flavor, because everybody's does that
Right.
I've sensed. So perhaps if I understand that flavor, which I should do by now,
Right.
then maybe I wouldn't resist.
And it would be, I guess, up to you
Sounds
whether or
like
not you wanted
guys
to
have
accept it.
either, Yeah, it sounds like you guys either have basically discussed shifts in the roles, or you can pass Vega if you want to allow her to do it. But I do think you notice as it's happening. But I
Yeah,
will say
if
the
I
same
recognize
thing
that
to
flavor,
you.
then
I will say the same thing to you that I just said to her. This is magic. So you are
Yeah.
aware as you're walking through this door.
And I'm not trying to conceal this at all from you. So if you
Okay.
want to tell me to stop, do that.
I will. Yeah, I'll let it happen. But I'll be like very alert of what's happening around me. And if I sense anything going stranger, then I will try and block it out and shut it down myself.
Okay.
All right.
And you walk through
Give
the
it a
door.
shot.
You don't
We'll be right behind you.
see anything, by the way. Those of you who are looking through the door, it just looks like darkness as she walks through, and the door shuts behind her. And she's gone, and we're actually going to leave her in the dark, and we're going to stay with you guys and see if anybody goes in after her. Or if you
Well,
just
I go
wait.
in straight after.
Okay, perfect.
Well,
Then you
Well,
also...
if he's just charging forward, then I'm gonna just immediately follow him.
Okay.
'cause-
I'm not charging in, but it said one at a time. So the door's gone, the door's closed.
Then you go
Now that
in.
it's closed,
Mhm.
I'm going in.
Mm-hmm. And then
Then
you do
I'll
the same
follow
thing.
afterwards.
Okay. Does anybody
Yeah.
stay outside, or do you two go in as well?
Is it letting them in?
The door opens. They enter.
I think I'll stay outside,
Okay.
especially since I did that thing with Vega. I'll stay outside.
Okay.
I will obviously stay outside if Ray is staying outside as well.
Okay. Then we are going to switch to inside. This place is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It's a very strange tavern. People are drinking out of glasses instead of wooden steins or metal. It's transparent. And there are creatures in here you've never seen before either. I'm going to move you over onto a page in roll 20 here. So bear with me. I believe you can see this now. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, while I switch over so that everyone else can see it, just give me 1 second. Oh, perfect. Easy peasy. All right. So as you can see, it's elongated, right? You've got the bar up at the front. So you guys entered in right where this kind of strange fountain is, and water is inside, by the way. So that's the first time in 6 months that you've seen water. There are private booths in the back, and then lots of tables. Candles are floating for lighting. The tables have silk red tablecloths on them. The chairs are also unlike anything you're familiar with architecture-wise. To us, they kind of look like maybe old kind of Chesterfield style. But you guys aren't familiar with that kind of style chair, I think. I think maybe your fancy chairs are made out of maybe some metals and velvet or something like that, but it's not quite styled this way. It's just strange. There's no other way I can describe it to you. You can hear the ambience of things, items, plates being moved, glasses, things like that. But if you look around the room and you see people's mouths moving, but you cannot hear any sound at all from their voices. And you see creatures you've never seen before. Dragon or lizard-like creatures sitting at tables. You see one with like red horns and a tail sitting at this table. What do you do?
Is that a devil?
It sort of looks like it, yeah.
What is this place?
Wait, we're here for a reason. I would look around for the elf.
Yeah.
You do not see the elf.
I suppose act like you belong. Perhaps go to the bartender at the end of the bar and ask if this elf has been through here.
No, that's probably a terrible idea. We should...
If you're the one with street smarts, you tell me.
We should
This
act
is
natural
way out
and
of
see
my
if we
league.
spot them. We need to see if there's any back doors or anywhere they could have gone to hide. They might even... I mean, they were in disguise. They tried to be in disguise in the other place, so maybe they've just disguised correctly in here. So we should try
Should
and...
we order
through
a
that.
drink?
Yes.
Take a
I
table.
think. Manners. Manners don't cost a penny, right?
I suppose. Speaking of pennies, what does it cost to buy a drink here?
Are you just asking that out loud, or are you looking for something, like some sort of menu? Are you walking all the way to the bar?
I have a question.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, depending where you are in the world,
Mm-hmm.
if in real life,
Yeah.
in some places you wait to be taken to a table, in
Yes.
others you go to a table and get served, in others you go to a table, then go order your thing, and then go to your table, telling them your table number. How does it work in Din, and how does it work here?
I think it's actually slightly different depending on where in Din you are, because Din used to be a
Okay.
bunch of different prefectures. So I think you probably wait to get served in Blakeguard, because Blakeguard is
Okay.
from a whole different prefecture and ward originally, and then it was traded over in a peace agreement. So I think it's very different in Blakeguard than it is to the rest of Din. So I think you guys do normally wait to be seated, but nobody comes for you, and nobody notices
Okay.
you.
Can I observe what other patrons are doing?
Yep.
Just keep an eye on like what they're...
You don't even need to roll for that. Nobody
Yeah.
seems to notice you when you come in here. They're all in their own worlds, having conversations or interacting with each other.
And how do we feel? Do I get that ever-flowing feeling of magic running through me? Is it just still there?
Oh,
Or is it-
absolutely, but it's almost like it's amplified, and it's stuff you've never felt before. Smells you've never smelled before as well. It's just very strange in here.
I suppose in that
Similar.
case, you're telling me. All right. Well, it seems like no one's going to take us to a table. I don't see any waiters or waitresses here. I'm going to just go to the nearest table and sit down, I suppose. Does that make sense to you, Vega, Jude?
Yes,
Yeah.
all right. Perhaps if they don't come, someone doesn't come for a while, one of us can approach the bar.
The moment
But
Right.
let's try.
you step forward, everything falls silent. Everyone turns to look at you as if they've just noticed you for the first time. And everybody seems to be waiting.
Hi.
I pull my chair and it makes a really loud, echoing, awkward. And I just sit down with my heavy chainmail.
Gorgeous place you have here. It's really lovely. The decor is unlike anything I've seen before.
Lear, the moment your ass touches the chair and you sit down, a drink materializes before you. This is very important.
Okay.
It's not what your favorite drink is, but what do you think you would be surprised, but you needed this one? This is like, wow, this might even be my new favorite.
Okay. It's not my favorite, but it might be okay.
It could be your favorite, but I just don't want you to default to thinking of your favorite. It's kind of like somebody has ordered a drink for you, but it's exactly what you wanted. You just didn't maybe even know.
Right. It is going to be... It's almost clear in the way it looks. It is got this light green tint to it. You can see inside it floating from the bottom to the top and then back down again like a lava lamp. Bits of what looks like mirberries from Blickard. And it's got like ice, but not in cubes, but in pyramids. And it is basically just this long, tall glass of water. Refreshing. Without even sipping it, I know this thing is going to be... It's water, but more. You know,
Mortar.
How can I... Mortar. I hope it doesn't taste like mortar, otherwise it's going to be my last drink, but it's essentially... it's... Wow. Slightly alcoholic. Very refreshing. Very light. Fruity. Like a cocktail. But yeah, that's what's there in front of me right now, and just the most tantalizing thing I've ever seen. I can see like a condensation kind of like glistening off the side of the glass. It's the most inviting thing ever. I have not drank since the desiccation, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And I want that.
Does anybody else sit down?
Yeah, absolutely. If I
Okay.
saw Leah just get a free drink, I'm sitting down.
Yeah, okay, so you both sit down. So the moment you both sit down, a drink will materialize in front of you as well. And the moment that happens, the rest of the patrons kind of go, oh, okay, and then go back to what they're doing.
Ooh. Interesting.
I'd like to know what appears in front of these two. Sorry, please continue, Lear, but in a second, let me know what appears in front of you two.
I'm just reacting to my drink, but while I'm doing this stupidness, yeah, what's happening? What does Vega get?
It is looks like milk. It's just white, solid white. It's a little drizzle of honey around the top of it though. It's like a very fancy white Russian kind of thing. It's sweet and refreshing and cold, and I've not had milk in a very, very long time. So it's something I missed from baking all the time.
Jude?
Yes, in front of me would be a sort of honeyed mead. Thick, sweet. But this one has like a hint of herb to it. Perhaps like some lavender, maybe even some sage, and definitely like also a bit of citrus, which is something that I would never have found and you would never find in a standard mead or anything. So it's just like a very robust and yeah, delicate flavors, but yeah.
Lovely. Floor is yours.
See the way the room came back to life as soon as we sat down?
Right.
That's interesting. There must be something attached to the way that the drinks. Maybe there's some. Maybe we proved ourselves by sitting down and the drinks appearing. That was a sign. But why?
It doesn't answer the question of how to pay for them.
Maybe we already have.
Or we're going to.
Yeah.
Some other way.
Well, then,
I think after all this time, I'm kind of worn down. And I'm gonna take a sip of this drink that's in front of me.
It's the best drink you've ever had. And you feel more refreshed and energized and all of the things that you know, like, it's like you're back in your comfy bed. It's like none of this is, your feet aren't blistered from walking. Like, you feel great.
I think as the two see me take this sip, they just see me start crying. I don't think I catch myself. I'm just... What?
are you alright?
You know, I think I am, yeah.
That good, huh?
You want some of this?
Good bartender. I take a sip of Lear's drink. Oh, I'm very curious as to the emotional reaction that it's evoked in Lear, so I will take a sip of whatever he's offering. I mean, it's pretty good, but it's not, I mean, is it that good? Last time I saw you this happy was, I mean, what was that? The lavender scones we made, and that was a very long time ago.
I suppose.
I reach out and pick up my drink and drink it.
Same thing for you as well. It is literally the best thing you've ever had. It's so refreshing. I feel like you probably feel like you've, I don't know, de-aged 10 years. It's just this very invigorating safety as well, I think, Jude, because I think you feel unsafe a lot of the time. So I think you feel pretty warm and cozy and safe the moment you have this.
I'm watching Jude intensely. Good?
Yeah. Should try yours.
She's smiling.
She is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the recipe for that. I need to know how to make you smile on a consistent basis from now on. And I will drink my drink as well.
Same thing for you, Vega. And the moment you drink yours, the elf will come and sit down at the table.
Oh,
A drink materializes before the elf.
glad you could make it. I'd love to know what kind of drink he gets, to be honest.
Ooh, somebody roll me a D100, please.
I want to do it. I want to do it. I
Yep,
want to
go
do
for
it.
it. D80 or higher. What is it? I can't see it. I can't see it.
9.
9.
Oh, 9. Okay, that's okay. I don't think you recognize it at all. So let's say it is a whiskey sour, but we don't have those in Din.
I see.
That
Well,
was
I
my
tell-
second choice.
Well, I beat you to it.
I turn to the elf and I say, glad you could make it.
They're just looking at you, waiting for you to speak further, maybe ask questions. They still look a little nervous, but not as terrified as they did earlier.
Well, why did you run?
Well, I don't know who you are or why you can see me, and this is the safest place I could think of.
That's what I assumed. What is this place?
You've never been?
Has any... I think I've never really considered the thought before, but I say human been here before?
I should think so. But maybe not from where you're from.
Is this a one-of-a-kind sort of place, or are these everywhere? Is this like a clubhouse, membership only sort of business?
Yeah, something like that. Membership only.
Are we members now?
Well, I guess you've always been members. If it wants to let you in, you can go in.
What are you doing in Din?
Hiding.
From what?
You.
I beg your pardon.
At least I think it's you.
I turn to Vega.
We don't know
Who
who
do
you are.
you... Who do you think he is?
King Lear Van Godston, is he not?
What?
Vin Godston.
Let me see your hand.
I offer my hand. I'm not wearing any gloves, I never do.
They take a good long look at your palm. They're clearly looking for something, but not kind of like maybe a palm reader. They're looking for something obvious on your hand. And then
Right.
they let it go and pull back. I didn't realize there was another one here. Who are you?
I look to my wards and my name is Leovin Blakeguard, heir apparent to the throne of Din.
I thought there was only one.
I do not know what you mean.
I thought there was only one heir apparent here.
Huh. So did I, until I met Razroth.
But Raz isn't here. Who are you
No.
referring to?
Razroth should be the only heir apparent here. That's why I hid here.
Then how could I be King Lear if Razroth would that makes no sense.
You really have no idea where you are?
Not the slightest, no. Would you please care to enlighten us?
Sure. Roll for me, please. I need you to roll something, either soul or dine. Up to you.
And is Estrella seeing all of this through me?
Nope. No magic allowed. So they've been waiting outside. So guys, if you choose to enter in at any point, please do so. But otherwise, you will stand outside, kind of not really feeling anything. Although, Estrella, you might feel a little bit of annoyance and childlike defiance from the building, who is kind of mad that you broke the rule.
Okay, well, I'll roll, no shift or anything, right?
Nope. Not in here.
Okay, so Dine, Southern Reflection. I'm just very good at rolling today. With a 67, that's a fail.
67, okay. Here's how I'm going to interpret the failure. They seem genuinely confused. It looks like they maybe were going to get up to show you something, but they kind of settled back down in their chair. They clearly want to have a little bit more dialogue before they share what they were going to share with you. They think better of it.
Right.
How did you know Rasmus was going to be here?
Well, I looked. I looked before I arrived. They kind of look around the building like, am I allowed to say that?
I look around as well. I follow their gaze to see if anyone's reacting to their words.
They're not looking at people. They're looking at the building. They're looking up and around. As if waiting to be struck by lightning. Nothing happens. They say, well, I looked before I decided to hide here. You're not supposed to be here. Are you
Well,
from...
here we are.
Are you from this other world, or are you from somewhere else?
What do you mean? There is only one place. There is only Din.
No.
Surely you jest.
I'm from your king and a tyrant. And now they look sad.
How did you get here?
Somebody brought me here.
Somebody? Who? When?
Young man, honey-colored hair. Saved a group of us.
Saved you from what?
And they point to Lear.
Well, this makes no sense. You said where you're from, not when you're from.
Right.
And even that makes no sense. How can it be from a time?
Kind of look around.
Tell me, where you're from, do you have water? Is it the same as it is here?
They nod. They're
It's
clearly
the same?
trying to be careful with how they talk to you right now.
I still don't follow. At all.
I'm sorry.
What are you afraid of? What do you think's going to happen to you? You think
It's
you're
just
going to
against the rules.
What rules?
I don't know how you're here if you don't understand the way of things.
Well, we're following the rules, are we not? No hunting, no brawling, no magic. One at a time.
Yes, that one. Say that rule again.
One at a time.
So in here. And they look at you as if they're waiting for you to maybe figure something out.
I am the one. There isn't a second.
That would be allowed inside. So
Right.
if I'm in here and you're in here, then I'm safe from the you that I'm running from, unless you're him.
No. That's just ridiculous. What are you in?
I assure you, this is not the man that you are describing who sits before you.
Then why the secrecy? Why is he
I came here
when
with
he's
no
not
secrets.
supposed to be here? Were you
My
placed
name is
here?
Lear Vin Blakeguard.
Yeah, but
Blakeguard.
but there wasn't supposed to
The
be a
implication.
Lear here. That's why I hid here. That's what I'm saying. There's supposed to be no Lear Vin anything. Van anything. You're not supposed to be here.
But he is.
Why?
Why not?
Why not indeed?
I have so many questions, and I don't even know where to start.
I am not supposed to compare notes. They look kind of confused.
I should respect the rules of this place.
Very much so, yes.
Who owns this place? Who operates it? Do you know? Are they friendly?
Yes? I've never seen anybody behind the bar, if that's what you mean.
Who's making these drinks then?
They gesture towards the building.
How do we pay for them?
The building will sort it.
Why
no
would
money
they build
here.
such a... Who and why would someone build such a place in this small town?
I don't have answers for that.
This place has always been strangely magical, right? It's kind of its history. It almost makes perfect sense for it to be a place like this here. But why? Only one at a time. It's an interesting
Well, I think... Right. But I do think that now I think about it more, one at a time isn't how many of us through a door, but how many of us...
The elf begins
the same
nodding furiously.
And I slowly nod at Lear as well.
Where you come from? Is there a Jude Van Godston? Does that
No.
name ring a bell?
No. And
This Lear has wards, no?
I think you are starting to see beads of sweat form on the elf's face. Straining. Not from fear. It looks just like they're, putting in some effort here to try to talk to you.
I see.
I don't think I don't think we can compare notes. I don't think we can
I'm
trade.
sorry.
Right?
No trading!
In here, though. But you could out there. But you
Yeah.
don't feel safe.
Do you not trust us enough to talk outside now?
Roll for me.
Okay. I have not rolled over, I think, an 80 once today. What should I roll?
Either you're using your soul and you're appealing with just your heart, or you're going to use your magic stat, but you're not actually trying to magically manipulate them. So it's your
Okay,
choice.
so no magic, I'll use my social graces.
Okay.
Do I have a shift on this or no?
Normally you wouldn't, but I will give you a 10 shift because you let them look at your hand.
Okay. A 29, success.
They wipe their cheek and nod and then stand up.
I think-
down the rest of my drink. Just
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just as we're going.
I take a
and then
sip
I
for good
stand up as
measure.
well.
Okay. And then, and then we get up and we're going to leave. Does anybody else do anything else before exiting the Gilded Hare?
I just want to take one last look around.
Mhm.
I want to remember what this room looks like.
You may
I want
try.
to remember. Yeah.
You will not. I'll just tell you that right now. You can roll, but you will not.
But I gotta try.
Yep, go for it. I mean, you could get a critical success. Who knows? You could get a 1, but that's what you got to get.
And I would like to be looking around to see if anybody's watching our exit.
No.
Or,
Nope.
Alas.
Nobody
Paying
seems to
special
notice
attention.
you. I think basically, Vega, it is as you guys figured it out yourselves. Basically, the moment you sat down and you were served, everyone was like, okay, they belong here, and just continued about their way.
I turn to my elf friend and I go, I take out a water skin and I say, would it be against the rules if and I just walk by this square fountain. Would it be against the rules and I gesture, I don't say what I'm going to do,
Oh, that's
but
not.
motion.
And they look like they're trying to tell you that that's not for drinking.
Then I,
That's
in one smooth motion, just put it back in my pocket. That's for what?
they look like they're struggling to tell you something again.
I think I can put 2 and 2 together, and I just keep walking.
Okay. You guys both leave
I'll-
as well.
I look to Vega and I say, it's,
Yeah.
it's a toilet.
Okay.
Yeah.
We leave. We're
Yeah.
exiting.
We leave.
Okay.
We're leaving. We're exiting.
We are exiting the Gilded Hare. Okay. Back outside, I'd like to, before you guys join Estrella and Titus, I kind of want to see what was happening out here because they weren't getting anything. And I mean, we've all been dying to know what their fucking conversation is going to be like. So let's just go back in time just a little bit and see what it was like out here with these two, please, if you don't mind.
Do you see how fast I ate those meals? That was pretty
Yeah.
quick for me. I keep patting my belly.
Are you feeling okay after all that?
Yeah, no, I feel brand new. Well, maybe not completely brand new. You remember when I ran over to that wood last time? Oh, I'm full.
Mm-hmm.
Been getting this weird feeling. Like, you know that feeling before something bad's about to happen? That premonition?
Yeah.
I feel it all the time. But just since we saw that wood, it's been bugging me. No pun intended.
My connection with Vega cut off the minute she walked in as well.
Well, do you want the good news or the bad news? Which one first?
Bad news first.
Bad news first is that we have each other, and if everything else goes wrong, you know, and hopefully Eru gives us back Raz, and then we can all, you know, things can maybe go back to normal. Or
Wow, it is that hard for you to be around me.
no, that's not what I'm saying at all.
The bad
But
news is that you and I are together.
That came out completely wrong. That came out completely wrong. I guess the good news. I should have just went with just the good news. The good news.
An arrow.
You know that's not how I feel. But the good news is what you did is a heck of a lot better than my plan. My plan was I was going to polymorph into a spider-like backpack. You were going to pretend to have a hunch, and then we were both going to go inside. So at least we know that the rules stand inside there. It's not a bluff, right? So
That is good news, I guess.
I didn't mean it was bad news. It's double good news.
Just
Okay.
Yep.
But yeah.
I wonder what the one at a time thing means, though. If they all went in, they were all accepted. Do you want to try the door?
Do you want to?
Well, I feel like... Okay, so... When Vega went inside, I had this... Not a lashback, but there was this mocking feeling, almost. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, I'll try.
Mocking how? Yeah.
Annoyed? Childish?
Okay. So if we deduce it logically, an arrogant mage or wizard or whatever this is, they wouldn't be annoyed if they weren't as powerful as they're making it seem to be, right?
Maybe. I don't know, it just seems, it could have been they were laughing at the attempt. No. I'll try.
You
try the door.
Go to look for the door. There's no door handle. That's weird. There was one there before, but there isn't now.
Huh. One at a time. Do you see a handle there?
Titus, you
no.
do actually. You do see a door handle.
No, it's right here. You don't see this?
No.
Okay, well, I'm just because of the bad news thing, I'm not going to leave you here. I'm not going to try the door without you. So,
Try the door.
you're sure?
That's how you'll make it up to me. Try the door.
You're sure there's not another way? There's nothing else to rectify the bad news kerfuffle.
Try the door, Titus.
Oh, okay. And I try the door.
I need you to roll for me. Protect your mind. The door opens.
As I
Again,
open it,
you
I
see darkness. Yeah.
look over to Rhea and make eye contact and say, "You're sure?"
I mean, you don't have to go in. I don't even see a door. That's your choice.
I then gently close the door, hoping that not kind of preparing for like a backlash or like, you know, before somebody's about to punch you, I'm kind of like, and I close it.
I don't know. I guess we have to wait to find out what they found in there. Unless it takes too long, in which case I don't want to send you in there alone, but evidently I'm not wanted in there.
You are talking for exactly this amount of time when they walk back out through the door. And yes, I know it was different timing, but it is this conversation. This much time has passed, and they walk out the door.
Oh, good to see you guys intact.
Everybody who just exited, roll, please. Anything in your mind that you have to try to remember or protect yourself. And somebody, Estrella or Titus, can roll for me. Just roll a flat D100, please, for the elf. You can add 20 to it.
Go on, Titus.
It hurts me so much because the stat that I think makes the most sense is also my lowest stat in this. But I can't not use it.
Yeah. Thank you. Jude rolled a 69, which is a failure.
I rolled a 32, partial success.
Okay. Vega, what about you?
88.
Okay.
Double
failure. Okay. Vega, you're waiting to go back into the building. As far as you're concerned, you guys just agreed you were going to go inside, and you're getting ready to go inside the building. Lear, you said you got a partial with 32?
Correct. Without any shifts, it's going to be a partial, yes.
So I'll let you role play this out. The further you get from the building, the fainter this memory will become. And you will not remember how to get back here.
To this very spot.
To this exact spot, yeah. You can try, eventually you will be like, yeah, there was this bar here. I can't remember the name of it. And it will be kind of like that. And Jude, you also failed. You're waiting to go inside. Actually, you didn't roll doubles. So I'll say it feels weird. You know you were just in there, but you can't. You know that thing where you walk into the room and you're like, "What was I doing? What was I coming in here for?"
Yeah.
That's what you feel right now as
Okay.
you exit out.
Whoa, don't get too close to me. I need to go in there on my own. Right? Don't want to...
Vega, we
What's
just...
happening?
We were just in there.
I knew it. I knew it.
You what?
You're not awake. You're not aware. I don't know how you
Awake
were even able to
where?
see this building. I don't
How
know
did we
how
get
you're
out
able
here?
to see me.
Hey, you guys find the elf.
Hi.
Whoa. Okay, alright, so clearly something is going slightly off here. It seems as if... Okay, Vega, Jude, something's gone off.
Yeah, it's fine. I can explain.
Okay,
and then they
thank
kind
you,
of
thank you.
gesture to move away from the building.
Alright, as long as you're still with us, you know what I mean. Alright.
All right. Okay. Well, so you're not supposed to be able to see this unless you kind of know how things work. So I don't understand how you were able to even see this and follow me in there, but also you were able to see me through my barrier. So it's probably the same thing. I don't know why. But
Right.
I've been in there.
yes, you were just in there and you were having a conversation with me, but because you're not aware, the moment you leave the building, you forget. If you were aware,
What do you mean by...
you'd be like it's aware of the way the everything works, the fabric of the universe is something like that.
Says
Yes,
God, not again.
yes, as in where I'm from, you are king, and you killed all my people.
What?
Yes. And in there, I'm not allowed to compare notes. We're not allowed to trade information or items. I'm not supposed to tell you what my reality is like. But
you can
I'm
do it out
here hiding from you, and you're not supposed to be here. Or whatever version of you are.
Right, let's go back to the beginning here. Well, you are from where?
Din.
But
Din.
not this Din.
That's correct.
And in your din, Lear is king and killed all of your people.
Yes.
How would his wards let that happen?
Oh,
Let.
indeed.
He's king.
Yeah.
Did he have wards?
Yes.
Do you know their names?
Elf hesitates for a moment.
Surely you must know their names.
I do.
Always their eyes could go sideways. We go backwards. Why not?
Well, what are the names?
They hesitate for a second longer. Are you sure you want to know? What if they're
Yes.
here, but they're not?
Well,
They're clearly not his wards here.
I mean, Lear is here, but he's not a king slaughtering a bunch of people here, so I think we can separate our feelings
Yeah, but
on
he's
that.
not even supposed to be here. So if what if
What's
I give
that supposed to mean?
I just mean I looked. I used the fountain and I looked to where I was going before I went there, and there wasn't supposed to be a you here. I thought I would be safe here because there are no versions of you here.
When you say here, do you mean here in this town or here in Din?
This din.
There's no Lear in this Din.
There's
Well, what are
not
the names?
supposed to be. No.
His wards' names, please. Listen. Wards grow up with their, soon-to-be monarchs or whatever. They are as much them as they are themselves. It doesn't matter if they're not dangerous here. If we meet them, it might serve to avoid them. It might serve to make sure they're on our side, Maybe we can avoid whatever happened wherever you are.
Okay, I need you to go ahead and roll convincing, whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you are trying to magically persuade the elf, I need to know that as well. Okay.
I'm just trying to speak from the heart. I am going to try and invoke my social graces, so...
And would he get any sort of shift since I kind of tried to start that line of conversation, or no?
You can try to give him one, but the elf is terrified of the other, so there will be a shift there.
Right.
I think it probably negates itself.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I just wanted to double check.
But I do think you have a very strange presence to this elf. Okay, go ahead and roll.
All right. 33 success.
Wow.
Doubles.
Nice. Oh my god,
And a roll of 3.
I have goosebumps. There was no way you could have gotten this unless you rolled exactly that or a 1. I'm shooketh.
And doubles because, of course, there's
This
more
game
than
is
one Lear, apparently.
haunted!
What the actual... Sorry, out of character. What the actual fuck is happening today?
Okay, so I had every intention of telling you the name
and distorting it.
like the elf will say it, and when they go to speak, they say the name and it distorts, so it's
Ashmeek?
but you will all understand. So you hear what the elf is saying, but you understand the name. Not you all, sorry, just Lear. The rest of you hear a weird, distorted kind of backwards mishmash of words that doesn't sound like it's coming from the elf. Vega, you will understand this is some sort of magic preventing you from hearing a true name. Lear, you hear the name Laz and Auric.
Laz and Auric.
That's correct. Fucking
Do you repeat
Christ.
that out loud? Do you repeat that out loud just now?
Do I repeat that out?
Yeah.
I
Did
think
you just say
because
that out loud?
I do not perceive it as if they were masking it. So I will say Laz and Auric. I will mouth it. I say Laz and Auric.
Do I recognize? I think they cast the obfuscation, or was that something that has
it's not
just
the
happened?
elf. It's not the elf. It is something that
Something
whoever these people are preventing you from hearing their true name. Now, I have to ask you a question because you rolled the 33 success doubles, which means you hear the true name, but I think you
Right.
can also speak it. So I'm gonna leave it up to you, Lear. Do you want to speak this true name and allow them to hear it?
Now, there's power in a name.
There is, very much so.
But would you be thinking of that right now?
Right, exactly.
That's true. I would like to roll a D100.
Okay, go for it. Holy shit.
I can't hold it in anymore.
I'm losing my mind.
I'm losing my mind.
I have no idea what's happening.
Okay.
Oh!
All right.
99.
What the hell? What is happening? I think.
We just
what
have,
does
like,
this
that big
mean to
clipboard.
you? What does this mean to you? Because it would be a.
Right.
Yeah.
So using the same rules as before, anything underneath a 50, I was going to say I was going to be more, safe about it. As a 99, I'm an idiot, and I'm just going to say Laz and Auric
Okay.
I go pale white.
out loud.
So just yeah. Titus is going to react to that, but before that happens, oh my god, it's a 99 for those listening. So it's doubles, right? Critical
Doubles.
fucking failure here.
Right.
The worst roll you could get other than a 100. You speak that name, and the woods fall silent. There is no sound. The elf is frozen, stopped. Doesn't even look like they're breathing. The rest of you are moving.
Are we all experiencing this
You
right
are
now,
all
or am I crazy?
experiencing this. You are all
What
experiencing
is-
this, except for the elf, who is frozen, quite literally, in time.
going on right now. Circle! I turn my back to the elf, and I have my sword out.
I will
And-
follow in the formation that we've trained,
Mm-hmm.
but
My
holding my
hands are on my
staff
blades
instead of
for
my
that.
sword.
Facing outside, protecting the elf to see what's happening right now. Everything is still, it doesn't make any sense. And so right now, we're just apprehensive, waiting until the first sign of danger.
Before I say anything, I would like us to understand what happened with Titus just now. Titus, you react. What happens before I go?
I think you see a immediate change in my posture. I slouch. I start to sweat profusely. And I haphazardly kind of scuttle into formation with them, protecting this elf. You remember that feeling I've been having? It is far worse now.
At this moment, I rise from the earth. A tall, willowy, shadowy being. Here you are.
And you'll roll for initiative next week. It's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. We're back. We're doing our shout outs now. Hello, hi. I was just reminding everybody that if they rolled doubles to add to their tracker, and if they rolled a 1 or 100, which happened a couple times this time, right? That you add a permanent addition to whatever it was that you were rolling. So remember, it's the skill, not the governing stat. And now things are getting fucky.
Oh god, this is horrific. I got 3 marks on this thing from one session. I've never rolled so badly.
I feel like I just read the last chapter of Berserk. I'm just seeing it for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely wasn't supposed to happen right now. And I feel like I had to. I could have kept going a little bit. I mean, we're already over, but it was so good that I wanted to keep going. But I had to end because, like, there's... Like, I have to give the apprentice an opportunity to step in here because this definitely wasn't supposed to happen. Or maybe he knew it was going to happen and that's why he grabbed Raz. I don't know. We'll find out next week. But holy
Can the real apprentice please stand up?
Holy shit!
I got goosebumps at the end there, actually. I was like, whoa.
I was frozen in my body.
Oh, congratulations. You guys are going to level up twice now. Because because you went into a very thing and now you're kind of sort of awake. You've heard that the world is the way that it is and you're kind of sort of aware of it now. And time stopped in front of you. Why doesn't everybody actually roll for me? This is the first time I think we've done this, maybe the second. You're rolling against the other world stat. So this is kind of like a sanity check. So if you notice at the very bottom, you've got like a tracker, right? Okay, this is the first time that you're really experiencing this other than, I think, the weird Titus creature from episode 1. So why don't you go ahead and roll for that? If you fail, you just mark a spot on the tracker. And if you succeed, you mark a spot on the harden, which are the top 2.
Okay. And are we rolling any particular stat or is it just like a flat D100?
Yeah, it's going to be your base Dine stat. Yeah.
Base
That's
Dine.
right. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go under 50, you succeed. Over 50, you fail. That simple. If you roll doubles or something crazy, then we'll do something special.
If it's base Dine, wouldn't it be 60?
Because your Dine is higher. Anybody who upped their Dine, it's whatever your base stat is. So doubles!
Doubles and a 3. It's still a 3.
Dude,
33, 99, 66.
I can't.
Also,
the third one.
Do I add that to my moon chart as well? The doubles?
Yeah, you add a thing to your tracker.
Does he get another Dine point? Because that was generally Dine, or is it just for skills?
No, and
it's only with 100.
Only with 100 or a 1.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's only with 100 or a 1. What's up? You're not stupid. But I do have something crazy to tell you, Lear. Yes, go on.
Am I rolling my Dine stat or the substat underneath my
Dine stat, your base Dine stat. So it should say like 50 or 60. Some of you upgraded your stuff.
Well, look at you with your
succeeded.
plus success. That must be nice.
What's it like?
32.
32. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm saving all my good rolls for combat.
Yeah. Okay. Cool boy. I think, and you have all week to think about how you're going to roleplay this. But at the start of next week, basically, you're going to experience the life of this tyrant Lear.
I beg your pardon.
What?
That's right. I'm sorry, you rolled a 66 double on this fucking composure check, basically. So that life flashing before my eyes thing that people get before they die, you're having that right now, except you're remembering certain things that this tyrant Lear did. It's not you, to be clear. It's not you, but it is a version of you.
So I get to sip it up is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
Oh boy. Well, that's going to be fun.
Well, my sword has been looking for a Lear, if we all remember correctly. Just throwing it in the hat.
Okay.
Hey, I've got 42 people to kill.
Yeah, so let's go. Bring it on, bitch. Wow, that was amazing. Okay, let's do some shout outs. Holy shit, guys. Incredible fucking job. Wow. All right, who's going first?
Liv.
Okay, fine. Hi, my name is Meyer. I played Lear Vin Blakeguard today, and I guess also Lear Vin Godston next week. Sometime. Is it today? Is it the same time?
What? Yes.
One at a time?
Yeah, yes. Only,
Anyway.
only one at a time.
God.
Yeah,
One,
wow.
actually, the rule is one at once.
God.
Oh god, the rules aren't on the shout out screen. Sorry guys, you can't see it, but I think we read them out, right? You guys know what happened. Okay. Oh,
Gone
fucking
makers.
Christ. Who's next?
But yeah, what an episode. What an episode. Like, I don't know what else to say, really.
You
I
have
mean,
COVID.
like,
This was a fever dream.
this is very much a fever dream of thank you.
Oh no!
Thank you.
He remembered! What did you do?
We are living in a reality where he didn't remember. I think I'm aware.
But it was so cool to, like, you know, see, like, you know, I suppose other fantasy races within Din. Where are they?
Yeah.
How does it kind of all fit into this fantasy, this world? And then, like, the whole Gilded Hare thing was amazing with, like, the chair and everything else. I mean, like, I'm really bad at these things. I just want to say how awesome it was to experience it, and I'm looking forward to next week so much. And I'm going to pass it on to somebody. Help me, please.
Leah.
Anybody. Leah, there you go.
Hi. Hello, it's been a pleasure. I'm starving, so I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, baby.
Yeah, we ran over. I'm so sorry.
Twitch.tv/Leah. I'll be live in a bit, actually doing some Red Dead roleplay. Thank you for watching, though. Murgles!
Oh my god. I would like to give myself a big pat on the back because RPing someone who had is emotionless and not caring or knowing what's going on was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I am
Should
losing
somebody
my
go
mind.
up to the bar, maybe? Please, for the love of God, go inside.
me the whole time. Don't meta, don't say anything, don't do it, don't make a move. That was, listen, I'll just be really brief because Leah's starving. But that was like one of the coolest experiences of my life, being like the biggest fangirl of PB, and the fact that I'm in this, and then this is just, okay, I'm done. Thank you so much.
Faye, you're up.
Oh no. Hi, I'm Phelan. I also am going to keep this short and sweet so that I don't get murdered by Leah. But with that being said, I played Estrella today. I hope you guys had an awesome time with us. This was a crazy episode. Yeah, if you're looking to find me, I do all sorts of stuff on my channel. But for the most part right now, I've been doing a lot of Conan Exiles RP, which has been a lot of fun. So it's all just Phelan, Twitch, Twitter, all of it's the same.
Johnny.
Hello, I'm Johnny Blams. I played Titus for you today. I'm also going to keep this short and sweet so Lee doesn't murder me. If you're wondering what Batman, the Walmart version of Batman, sounds like as a cowboy, you can find me on my channel. I'm going to consult my notes very quickly. I don't know why today it sunk in that Vega's always been floating. I've always known this, but today, like, I got very vivid mental imagery in front of the Gilded Hare, and I was like, wow. Another big thing, yeah, it was. There's so many mind-blowing things today, but I'm you ever been a really big fan of a director or a composer, and then they do something completely out of the ordinary with their show? That is what PB did today, and it was so good. And I don't know if anyone else noticed it, but I noticed it, and I put it in my notes, and I was like, oh my god, that was so good. That minute of silence, I was like, PB shows don't have silence. I feel highly uncomfortable and awkward. This is so good.
It was fucking
Today's session was
incredible.
awesome. Thanks for having me. Thanks you guys for watching. Go rate and review the podcast, PB.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm going to keep it high. I ran everybody super over. It was great. I love the episode. I've been fucking waiting for this the whole fucking show. You guys had the opportunity to run into it in your hometown, Vega, because this fucking place moves around. Yeah, and you also had an opportunity to not run into it here. But as I've explained, Haggs Hollow is a little wobbly here, and It's weird. So you
Thank
had
God for that elf, man.
You had a higher chance of
Praise
yeah.
be
Had
to
you
Matthew.
not seen the fucking elf either, too?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, that's it.
So
Thank you so much
cool.
for watching.
The
and we'll see you guys
podcast. Don't
next
forget
week.
to like
Yeah.
the podcast on the Apple Store. It helps
please.
the podcast
And
to tell the
follow-
story.
Follow Drac and Brad because they're not here, but hope they might be here next week. Who knows?
Draconics.
Yeah.
Brad Lodo.
Okay, bye.
Hey.
Oh wait, we've got a new show. I'm showing you the trailer right now.
Elbereth, Lasto Bethdair, Ahir Anun Gilthoniel, Heb Bauglir Daedalus, Hebvin Intheni, Hamo Men Milinkaun, Akaro Estel Vinkan, Irmen Beria, Nedlu Beleg Bauer. Elbereth, Lasto Bethdair, Ahir Anun Gilthoniel, Heb Bauglir Daedalus, Hebvin Intheni, Hamo Men Milinkaun, Akaro Estel Vinkan, Irmen Beria, Nedlu Beleg Bauer.
Leader, there you are. Finally.